In this asylum, I run the place. I love the look upon your face. In this asylum, I wish you well, 'cause I'll be standing at the gates of hell. With twisted thoughts of you and me, mixed with twisted imagery. Toxic love affair, and toxic goddamn air.
Okay.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Let us know where you're from first of all. And we got an amazing show tonight. I've been looking forward to this show for a while. Before we get to our guest, I just want to say hi to everybody. I know a lot of you guys watched our live feed on Friday night. We have another live feed tomorrow night on, what time is that on, Alex? 6:30, 7 o'clock?
6:30 Eastern Standard, yep.
Okay, so Eastern Standard, we're doing a live investigation. It's actually, the flyer's out now. You guys go check it out. It's going to be really, really cool, from a haunted location out Midwest of the United States. It's Kansas, correct?
Yeah, it's at the, I can never pronounce it, McIntyre House.
Okay. McIntyre House, okay.
Yeah, I can never pronounce
it. That's gonna be a real good one, guys. Go check that out. But hey, before we go any further, I want to get to our guest tonight, psychic medium, TV medium at that, Barrie John. What's going on, Barrie?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good, good. If you can't tell, Barry's from the UK, of course.
No, I'm American, really.
Are you really?
No. I'm good, yeah, I'm really good. It's great to chat to you guys. I've been looking forward to this show.
Yes,
good.
yes. We've been looking forward to you, too. We actually, I think we talked to you a little bit at Sage back in November on our live feed. And we were really interested in getting you on, man, because I've heard a lot of great things about you, especially from MJ. She really talked really good about you.
Yeah. Just biased. Just very biased.
Yes, she is. When it comes to, if you're her friend, man, you tell you what, she will take care of you. But yes,
right.
Yeah. So Barrie, how'd you get started? I mean, how long ago did you figure out you were a medium, and how'd you get started in the biz?
Well, I think for me, I have to go all the way back to probably childhood, to be honest. That I always knew there was something weird, I suppose, in a strange way. I always knew there was something else. And I remember as a child feeling presence, feeling hands on my shoulder, almost as though people were following me around at times. I always remember, like, laid in bed as a child, and I used to see faces and figures come into the bedroom window and things. So it was fascinating for me, growing up, because my family were very receptive of it, really. They never dissed what I did. And I was lucky because my mum's side was very mediumistic. They were very much into physical mediumship, trance mediumship, the heavier side, let's call it. So it opened up a lot of doorways for me at a very young age, and I remember, friends used to ask me for readings when I was like 11, 12, and things just used to flow, information just used to appear for me, and I never knew how, and you know what, even to this day, I still don't know how. I just go with it, but, the nice thing is the mediumship's opened up so many doorways, and I've met some great people, MJ, loads of American guys, and a lot of guys from the UK, it's given me a lot of aspiration to travel, let me say that, which is a good thing.
Well, so that far back, even at 9, 10, 11 years old,
yeah.
you were doing readings. That's pretty badass, man.
Yeah, definitely, and my friends were always fascinated by, things that I used to get, and especially when I started playing around with the Ouija boards with them and that, we started talking to loved ones and relatives and grandmothers who had passed. And go, how do you know that? How do you know that info? And he'd go, I don't know, I just know it. It's just information that's there. But, I think it's one of those things, isn't it? I always describe it to people that once you get into mediumship, paranormal, the spirit realms, whatever you wish to call it, you just develop almost like this thirst for knowledge. You want to know more about it all the time, and that's a bit like me. I've developed it over so long that I think the last count I've done something like over 5,000 ghost hunts now. And
wow,
that's a lot.
Every one of them holds something different.
Wow. So have you done anything over here in the States or any other countries besides over in the UK?
Yeah. I've travelled around quite a lot. I've done a lot in Europe, a lot of ghost hunts in Europe. I've done the Middle East. I've done ghost hunts in the Middle East.
That's awesome.
And obviously in
that's
South
awesome.
America. Yeah, in South America as well. You know, I mean, I did a ghost hunt around the Recoleta Cemetery where Eva Perón's buried. You know, in about 2006, I think that was off the top of my head. You know, and it was great for me. You know, I loved it. I've never done anything in America itself, but trust me, I would love to.
Oh, that's awesome. 5,000 investing. I can't even fathom that, dude.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, that doesn't include things like demonstrations, public
Right.
demonstrations, mediumship shows. It doesn't include private sort of ghost hunts that I've done for like friends as a bit of fun or as a joke. That's purely public ghost hunts.
Oh, okay. That's pretty impressive, man. I mean, I think collectively everybody I know in the field, it's probably when you come out to 5,000, man, including myself. I've done probably.
When you think to me, I mean, I've been ghost hunting now since, oh gosh, well, put it this way, now I'm going to declare how old I am. But probably since my late sort of 18, 19 years of age, you know, that sort of time. And when you think now I'm 46 a week on Monday I'll be 46. So it just shows you there how many I've done over the years, really.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I mean, when you I know you do a lot of TV over there in the UK, from what I understand. So when you got your first call to do something on TV, how was that for you? I mean, how long ago was it, and would we know the show over here in the States?
The first time I ever did TV would probably be, and I'm going to take a real guess around this, would probably have been about 2002, 2003. And that's when I started slowly getting into the TV market. And then obviously once you get into the TV, the radio media market seems to follow, you know. And over the years, I've got involved in programs such as like Most Haunted, which you've heard of. You know, Most Haunted was our phenomenal TV program over here. Anything in terms of, I did the Moors murder investigation. Do you know the Moors murders in the UK?
I've heard of it.
You're going to have to remind me when I'm in the UK.
I did a lot of work with them, with Sky Television, probably around, gosh, you're asking me to guess a date now, probably about 2008-9. And then over the years, just various bits of TV, really, especially UK television chat shows. People seem to like me on chat shows, and I think that's just something that I talk too much, to be honest.
Because I know you've been on This Morning. Was that just the once, or you've been on there more?
No, we've been on that quite a lot, actually. You know, it got to a point actually where it was near enough coming up every other month where we ended up with a show on it. You know, and we did numerous sort of tasks with This Morning, in terms of doing them like sort of paranormal work, talking about mediumship. You know, there was a lot of work involved with it, which was brilliant. You know, I've loved it over the years, and it just opens up so many doorways. But the thing that I like that it opens up is this conversation of people to talk about it or talk to you about it. Because, you know, you have to remember not that long ago, what we did was very sort of undercover, I suppose, in a way. You know, you're only going back probably somewhere around the 70s, 80s, where, you know, people really didn't approve of what we did. And especially in the UK, you know, everything always seemed to be very regimented. You know, they didn't want you to dabble with things you didn't know about. And probably I broke the mold, and I just thought, you know what, I want to do this. You know, I want to have some fun with this. But, you know, there's certain shows that over the years I've auditioned for or gone for that probably don't work with my ethic of mediumship. You know, I believe when I work with the spirit world, you know, they come through, they want to bring your loved ones through, they want to give you proof of life after death, and they want to give you an element of evidence, you know. And there's certain things that when you're going around buildings, well, for me, just don't seem to tie in what people pick up. You know, people seem nowadays to get very hung up on like demonology and demons and evil and where it's all being created, you know, and it's almost like a little bit too far-fetched, I suppose, in a way. You know, when you look at some of the buildings you're going into were very, very wealthy homes, stately homes, you know, and they have some great history to them. But, you know, I think it's this whole perception perception now that suddenly ghost hunting seems to be, everybody wants it negative, you know, they want it quite evil, and I think that's what they go out looking for, to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah,
we're not massive fans of the D word on this show.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're not saying they don't exist. We just think the word's thrown around a bit too much.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it is, and it's a massive. For me, it's almost like a bit of a faux pas, you know, because people go intentionally looking for that now in venues, rather than going into a venue and just going, right, what's going to happen in here? And I think that's what we've always got to be mindful of, you know, is that we can never guarantee activity in a building, and this is the first thing I say to people on any of my events. You know, come with an open mind. Sometimes when you attend a building, you might get nothing. Other times when you attend a building, it might, as we call it, it might all kick off from the moment of walking in the door.
Mm-hmm.
But surely to me that's healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'd like to know, Barry, if it's okay to ask. Yeah. Of all the, I mean, I don't think we've asked this question. I'm assuming, do you see and hear spirits?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I always have. I've always had this ability of seeing them and hearing them almost at the same time. But, you know, that ability changes for me. You know, it depends who you're working with. It depends. I always talk about the frequency of spirit. If it's not a strong character, it's a little bit like you imagine tuning in a radio station and it's a really weak signal. You'll just almost hear a muffle in the background. Whereas sometimes if you've got the signal really spot on, you'll get everything nice and clear. Okay. So I always think of it like that it really depends on the strength of the spirit, I suppose I'd say.
Okay, because that helps me in asking this question.
Okay.
Of all the things that you've seen spiritually, what was the most profound, or say spirits that you've spoken to, what would be the most profound to you personally?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You know, that's a real tough one, because I've done so many venues over the years. But you've got me racking my brains now. I'm trying to think. I mean, I remember. I mean, I remember near me there's some really old mills. You know, and these mills go back to like the 1800s. And you know, there've been so many things. There were cotton mills. They used to make ammunition for the war. At one point, because they're in the valley was always covered over with almost like a big sort of camouflage net, I suppose, in a way. And I've got to say, you know, that place has spooked me so many times when I've walked round corners, and you know, when you feel as though you've walked through somebody or through something. Yeah. That building got me every time I went, because you could guarantee I'd always end up having to walk round on my own at some point, and I'd turn a corner, and it was almost as though I'd walked through a freezer or a fridge, you know, and it was so cold, and suddenly, you know, it hits you, and you just stop in your tracks, and you just think they've done it again to me. They've really freaked me out this time. I mean,
my biggest issue on investigation is walking through a cobweb. I mean,
yes,
because you can never get it off, no matter how hard you try.
But the problem is for me, you see, with that, Alex, is that I get that all the time. You know, you imagine this. As soon as I go into a building and I start picking up spiritual presence, it's that element of I've always got that cobweb effect.
Yeah, that's why I said it, because I thought it was kind of similar.
Let me answer a couple questions real quick here in the chat, guys. I know some people are asking for Barry to tell them some stuff. We're going to hold off on that for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll have you put in your questions here in the chat, and then we'll ask Barry. Then that way we're not bombarding Barry with too much. But we're going to talk a little bit, and then we'll jump into the questions.
We probably won't be able to answer.
We're not ignoring you.
We won't be able to answer everybody's questions, but we will try and do as many of you as possible. Obviously, as long as Barry's okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
Because we don't want to take advantage of like your gift. I mean, it is a gift at the end of the day.
Yeah, but you see, I don't class it as a gift. I class it as an ability, and I talk to people about this, and I go, everybody can do what I do. You know, all I do is I help you open up a doorway or a channel, whatever you wish to call it. You know, and I've had people come to me with, let's call it no ability. You know, they go, no, don't believe in it. No, nothing's ever going to happen. It's never going to happen to me. And lo and behold, give me 6 months with them, and suddenly they're starting to pick things up. They're starting to see. They're starting to sense. You know, and it's always that first impression, isn't it? When you guys walk into a haunted building, whatever you wish to call it, what's the first thing you pick up? Do you pick up things like temperature changes and uneasiness? You know, almost like a gut feeling where you just think, you know what, I feel And then my first comment to you would be, well, why do you feel uncomfortable? You know, if you're not picking anything up or you're not psychic or mediumistic, then you wouldn't be detecting anything. You know.
One thing I was wondering, because, Helena, who was on the show on Friday, my wife, obviously she can see and hear spirits as well.
Yeah.
And obviously I met her in 2009. Ever since, I've been with her practically every day since. And obviously over a period of time, the more time I've spent with her, the more things that I've seen. And I was just wondering if there's the same thing for people around you who are not necessarily mediums, but have become a lot more sensitive to spiritual activity because they're around you.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think it's probably almost, you know, when you make people relax in a way, you're just getting them to the point of chilling, let's call it. And I think you find that's a natural thing when people come on an event with me. You know, I get them to that point where you almost get them into a meditative state or a hypnotic state to a point, and suddenly they start picking things up because they've relaxed, they've begun to be open about it. And probably with me, you know, there's no sort of, I'm not going to condescend anybody or contradict anybody, because I just go, right, tell me what you're getting, what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what does this room feel like? And that's the way I work. You know, it's never easy. You know, we talked earlier about filming shows, and it's never easy filming a show when you're a medium, because what the TV wants and what camera wants is different to what we do, because I can walk into a room straight away and start reaming all this information off, and then the cameraman will go, oh no, you've got to do that again because you didn't walk in right, or we didn't catch you right, or you know, you started talking before you were in the room. And it's very difficult, because that's like me saying to you, you know, repeat our conversation of 5 minutes ago. You know what I mean? It's almost you've walked into a room and you've got your instant reaction, and then somebody's going to you, now can you walk out and can you walk back in and give me the same reaction? Well, no, because my feeling will be different, because I know what's there now.
They're trying to get you to reenact something that's already gone.
Exactly, you know, and that's really, really hard, isn't it? From what I do, the way that I work, as soon as I walk into any room, it's my first impression that matters to me, you know, and people that know me, I just talk and talk and talk, you know. you give me.
Well, you're on a chat show, so that's good.
Well, that's a good thing about me. But
Got a quick question for you, Barrie, from Claire King Holmes. Barrie, where do you think the most haunted places in the UK? She says, I think Warwickshire is amazing.
You might have met Claire at Sage, I think.
The name rings a bell. It does ring a bell. So I think she's talking probably of either Warwick Castle or Guy's Cliff House. If she's talking of Guy's Cliff House, then she can confirm that. Guy's Cliff House, I had the spookiest experience ever at Guy's Cliff House. There was me and another friend who were sat one in front of the other, and we were actually I think we're in like the main chapel part from memory. And I remember in total darkness, we both turned around at the same time, looked at the wall behind us, and I am not kidding you, there was somebody stood there, and we both got up and ran out of the room screaming like mad. So I would agree with that, but I'm going to say also, places like Margam Castle is extremely spooky, you know, down in South Wales. You've got Woodchester Mansion in Stroud in Gloucestershire, which is also spooky. The Galleries of Justice in Nottingham on my doorstep. You know, that place there goes back to the 1300s. And when you go in there, it is amazing, absolutely amazing. One of the places what I work a lot at now, and I'm I don't know what you call it really, like a tourist guide, I suppose, for a historical venue near me, which is the home of Lord Byron, which is Newstead Abbey. And then that place goes back to like the 1100s. You know, that was originally an abbey, you know, for the Black Canons, and it's phenomenal, the information that you can pick up when you're walking around it. But do you know what? I think the UK has so many fantastic venues. To sit and talk about it, we'd be going all night. But if Claire's talking about Guy's Cliff House at Warwick, I would totally agree with you, Claire, because it's freaked me out. Warwick Castle is another one. You know, there are some. There's a lot
of places in the Midlands, basically.
There is.
I kind of noticed. Yeah. I mean, because we're talking to a lot of paranormal teams about doing live investigations, and the ones in the UK, nearly all of their locations are in the Midlands.
Yeah. We obviously just have a haunted Midlands, don't we, in the UK?
Yeah.
Claire, just to let you know, says she's from Free Spirits. He will remember me.
We're gonna be investigating with them guys on the 16th of June. At the Leopard Hotel in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, that'll be a live feed coming up in the next few months here, guys. So stay tuned for that. We'll be a lot more out about that. We have a lot more live feeds before then, live investigations, but that's going to be one of them coming up.
There's another question for Barry on here, Daryl, if you want to.
Which one?
From
there's been a lot.
And it keeps going up from Ashley Storm. Great last name.
Okay, Ashley, okay. How do you keep your energy up when dealing with multiple energies trying to communicate and channel simultaneously? I've found the more I'm able to hone my ability, the harder it is to keep my energy level high after getting bombarded by spirits and energies trying to communicate. Good question, Ash.
That's a brilliant question. Can I just ask one thing? Does he mean in terms of ghost hunts or in terms of mediumship shows?
It's a girl, Ashley.
Yeah, female. She's a female, Ashley.
Apologies.
Yeah. We'll see if she comments in here. There's like a 20-second delay.
Let me talk about the two for me, because when I work at a mediumistic show, so a demonstration, it's very different to a ghost hunt, because when I'm there and I'm talking to public and I'm bringing messages through from the public, or for the public, from loved ones, the information with me is almost like a machine gun going off, and it's literally one after another, after another, after another. But I can guarantee that once I've done a 2-hour show, I come away feeling exceptionally hungry. I'm really hungry. I could eat
that's
anything.
my problem.
Yeah, and then the second thing is, afterwards, as I've said, right, that's it, I'm ending the show, or, I've got all the links, that's it, I can't do any more, I get this wave of tiredness come over me, almost as though I just go, right, I need to eat and sleep. And people will come up to you after a stage demonstration and they'll go, oh, can you just give me a quick message? Can you just give my friend a quick message? And I have to go, no, because the thing is, when you come out of that sort of mode, it's very difficult, it really is, to keep going back into it. But if we talk about ghost hunts then as well, because I don't know which Ashley's referring to, but when you go on a ghost hunt, you can imagine that for a medium, sometimes, depending on the venue, if it's something very traumatic or something where, I don't know, a murder's happened or anything like that, it really, really does drain you very quickly. And for me, I've got to almost keep, dealing with the spirit issue, then going, right, move away from me, let me move to the next one. And almost cutting the links all the time and going, right, I've done that one, move on, done that one, move on, done that one, move on. But the best piece of advice, eat lots of chocolate.
They say the exact same thing if you're trying to travel to the North Pole.
Yeah,
and that is true.
Yeah.
What's that?
You have to eat a lot of chocolate and eat a lot of sweets, like candies and stuff, if you're travelling to the North Pole.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but apparently, you got to have something like twice as many calories, basically. Something like that.
I always say to people, what always fascinates me on any ghost hunt, when you get to the 3-4 o'clock time in the morning, you suddenly get the paranormal snoring. When people begin to slowly fall asleep, because people are tired.
I've slept in some really weird positions on ghost hunts.
Yes.
I was actually talking to someone earlier today, and Barry, have you ever been to the True Crime Museum in Hastings?
Oh no, that's a new one on me.
It's a good location. And basically, I was in one of the back caves, because it is a cave. It is built into a cave network, a very small cave network. And I fell asleep in a room with a noose that was used to hang someone's skull, a bath that was used to dissolve bodies, and a lethal injection chair. I fell asleep in that part of the cave network with my back up against the wall, because that was the warmest part of the whole place. So
I remember, people always laugh about this, but I remember filming a couple of TV shows, and one of them that I did was in South Wales, But the problem was, it was in South Wales in winter, and we were right on the coastline. And I remember, you know when you're trying to look good for camera and you've got a little nice leather jacket on and you look very professional, and trying not to get my teeth, to stop my teeth chattering was the hardest part of the night because I was perished. And we figured out it was something like -7 on the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah. It was
very
cold.
Darryl has the same problem, but with him it's his nipples being too obvious.
Jeez. We did have another question back here. I forget who it was from, but they were asking if you ever investigated in Scotland, and if you have, where.
I have, yeah, I have. I've done Edinburgh Vaults numerous times, and absolutely brilliant. I love under Edinburgh because it's like another city altogether, and even St Mary's Close up there is brilliant. So lots of venues in Scotland. I'm just trying to think of what other ones I've done in Scotland off the top of my head. But I've got to say, Edinburgh Vaults, if you get a chance, go, because it is literally like catacombs underneath.
Yeah, I mean, people watching in America, Ghost Adventures have been there before.
Yes.
So, So if you want an idea, look it up.
I know what you're talking about now. Okay, yeah.
It was back. It was like one of the sort of. I think Nick was still on the team when they did it.
Yeah, it was like one of their first seasons they were over there. I mean, it was it's been about 10 years ago. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so I can't remember who asked that question. It was a while ago, 5-10 minutes ago now.
I'm assuming someone from Scotland.
I would hope. And it might have been from fucking Delaware.
No, there's nothing in Delaware. Come on. Apart from
Darryl. You know that? Lorna, she said, thanks. That's my question. Thank you. You're welcome, Lorna. Edinburgh
I love that
Vaults
name,
are
Lorna.
amazing, she says.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
So I've got another question about things that you've seen and heard from spirits. I asked what your most profound was. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen in a spirit or heard from a spirit?
Oh gosh, oh blimey! You put me on the spot now. I have to remember over so many ghost hunts. What's the funniest thing? Probably when they come through and either tell me they don't like somebody or they don't like me, but I take no notice anyway, to be honest. Just carry on, and it's almost like I want to say to them, "Oh God, then there's your challenge. Then what are you going to do?"
Have you ever had a spirit come through saying that Mary loves dick? Because that was funny. Come on.
That was funny. That was very funny. No, I haven't, because you know what? If I had, I'd stop it and go, "No, not really. No way." Because I just think, what, they will put me on the spot sometimes, and there is things what I've come out with. I mean, when I do a stage show, the stuff what they come out with, like secrets, about people having an affair, or and you think, gosh, I can't say this.
That's one reason why Helena doesn't do them.
Yeah, and the problem is though, the audience, everybody else in the audience wants that gossip factor, don't they? They want that little bit of information that they can almost go away and blackmail that person with afterwards. And go, oh, we know all your secrets. We know what your underwear drawer looks like, and we know what your grandma used to wear, and
Okay.
Grandmother used to wear.
It's all those little secret stories. You know what people think? You know what? Nobody will ever find that out, and lo and behold, then comes along me.
Got a question for you here. It's a pretty good one from Alyssa Grubbs over here in the States. She's actually from Virginia. Barry, what's been your scariest experience?
Ooh, scariest experience.
Did you ever have to go to Manchester for a reading? I don't know why I said that. I like Manchester.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that one. What is my... Right, okay. I would probably say two on this. One of them is when I was involved in the Moors murders, and I remember being up on the Moors very late at night.
So, Barry, one quick... Can you just remind me what the Moors murders was? Because I've got a vague idea, but I need a reminder.
Yeah, the Moors murders was Myra Hindley and Ian Brady.
That's it,
And it was basically during the 60s on Saddleworth Moor near Manchester. And I remember being up there very, very late at night. And I mean, that place is like desolate. It's like putting you in the middle of the desert, with nobody else around you. And I remember being up there, and there was me and one other person who decided to...
Froze up on us.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, he says Skype was acting a little weird.
His dog's up there and all.
There he goes.
But it was phenomenal. The things that we were getting. But for me, it was being in the moors on my own in the middle of the night, walking around, a little bit like the lost child, trying to, fathom out what had happened and what was going off up there. But, there were certain things that just didn't make sense to me. And I think because it was winter, because it was cold, it was almost like, when things start playing tricks on your mind, it's like, am I seeing this? Am I imagining this? Is this real? Is it not real? And then the other one would have been probably the Galleries of Justice at Nottingham, when I used to have to lock up late at night when I'd done events there. I used to run all their events many years ago, and I used to have to run around locking up late at night. Well, that building goes back to, like I say, the 1200s.
Yeah.
And, when you're on your own in that building, locking up from down below and working your way up, I remember all the guys that had gone with me used to laugh like mad, because I used to run around screaming like a madman, because I kept thinking, if I can't hear them, they won't bother me. And that was always my view of it.
Or you're just going to draw attention to yourself, but
Yeah. And the thing is, I've always had this view that if I make more noise than what the spirit will do, they won't affect me, because I can't hear them.
Lorna...
Kind of like watching a live chat. If you don't pay attention to it, you don't know what's going on in there.
Exactly. I don't know what we were talking about then.
Lorna had a question for you, Daryl, but I'm going to say you're not going to answer it, because we all know you're going to start going on about the House of Wheels again. What's been a ghostly experience that you have never forgotten? I mean, that's going to be House of Wheels, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Lorna, I mean, you new to the show. I don't remember seeing you on here before. Maybe you have been. My most ghostly experience, I would say terrifying experience in the paranormal, would be House of Wheels in Cleveland, Ohio, where I had an attachment. It followed me home. It took me 2 or 3 weeks to actually get rid of it, and it humbled me as a paranormal investigator at that point, and I grew out of that. Before that, I was very immature about the paranormal. I was seasoned, but I never ran into anything like that before.
I mean, that was what, like 5 years ago, when you were like 56?
Yeah, I was only like 56 at the time. Yeah, it's about 4 years ago. Yeah.
That's really important. That's a really good fact what you said there, though, Daryl, because I remember I was being very smart once at the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham, and I brought a spirit home with me, and all that kept happening all night was my kettle kept boiling in the kitchen, and I had to actually go down and take it off the stand and stand it on the side, because every time I went upstairs it boiled, every time I went down it stopped, and we must have done this for about an hour, and in the end I just said, right, I'm taking it off the stand, and I just put it on the floor, and that was it.
So we've had a spirit come to our house before, and whenever I'm trying to cook something, it turns the heat up on the oven. Not even kidding. It drives me insane. The amount of meals that this spirit has ruined is ridiculous.
Marina had a question. Has there ever? I guess this is for Barry because he is the medium. Has there ever been a time you didn't want to be able to see spirits anymore? That's a good question.
Yeah, there has actually. Yeah. I've had some very personal circumstances, like losing my mum, losing members of the family, and it's really made me turn away from my belief at times. I've had to really battle with that and go, no, just keep going. But that was more for personal reasons more than anything, or times when I've been struggling to deal with things on an everyday life basis. But I have to say, other than that, no, I've never wanted to turn them away. I've always carried on. Even in terms of hard readings or clients that I get a hard reading with, I just keep going with it because I think, keep that information flowing. And I just ride above it now. I just carry on. I mean, you've got to remember, I've been working now for, I dread to think, 35, 40 years, something like that. From being a child, I've always had this inkling. Remember that.
Mm-hmm. And what keeps you going then?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. He answered that already.
Chocolate or blackjack, look. What keeps me going? You know what keeps me going? Because I have a major passion for what I do, and I want to help people. I want to help them grieve, get over situations. I want to help them believe in an afterlife, that there's proof of life after death. And even now, I strive so much for evidence on events because I want proper evidence. I started sitting for physical mediumship about 2-3 years ago now, properly. And the things that we've had in our group, we've had hands form in the middle of the circle, we've had faces coming out of the wall, we've had voices in the room that aren't none of us, you know, even babies crying in the middle of a seance. And they're the sort of things that I really, really love now, and it's proving something else. You know, it really does prove something else.
I got a question for you too from Linda Brooks. Have you ever had a spirit follow you home from a location, Barrie?
Yeah, galleries are just it. Yeah,
okay.
I have. And you know, sometimes it's when I'm being quite ignorant to them and I'm ignoring them.
Yeah.
If I'm ignoring them, they will follow me home because it's almost like we need to talk to you, we need to tell you something, we need to give you some information. I've been doing quite a lot of work over the last sort of 12 months really with certain police forces abroad, looking at investigating murder cases and quite serious ones as well. But the things that come through on that are really spooky. I can get woken up in the night and I think, I've got to write this down, I've got to draw a picture. And very often when I'm on the phone to like police or the investigators, I always sit with a writing pad and I sit there, you know, almost just doodling, and I'll be drawing things or whatever, and then I'll go, right, does that make sense? And I'll hold it up to the camera and they'll go, oh my God, how did you know that? And I'll go, well, what is it? And they'll go, that what you've drawn, it's a holiday camp, that's where it happened, that's what it was. What's the hut? Why, you know? And it's all these sort of
just
things,
out of interest,
you know,
was Jason the murderer?
Yeah. But it is. It's all those silly things for me that I almost take for granted, and I just do it. I just talk about it. I just draw things, and then I go, right, do you understand that? And they go, yeah. How did you know that? And I go, I don't know. That's what I've been given.
It's crazy.
Trying to see, I was looking at some of these other posts in here, people asking questions.
Do you want to, open it up to, you know,
so guys,
readings and stuff?
If you have any reading stuff, it's going to be one question per person. We're going to try to answer as many as possible. We've got about another 20-25 minutes left in the show. So if you have any medium questions, please post them in the chat here, and we'll try to ask Barrie. And like I said, act accordingly, one at a time.
While we wait for some of those to come through, one question I wanted to ask Barrie is what your spirit guide is like.
Oh, I have quite a few of them with me.
Yeah.
I have quite a few of them. The one, I mean, over the years, you know, it changed so much, but I've had one guy that's been with me from many years, and he's I always call him a big red Indian. I've got no idea, really. I think he's a Sioux Indian, to be honest. But it's the way he comes through, and he's taller than me. Well, I'm 6'5", and he always comes in taller than me, and you can guarantee whenever I do seances or sit in seances or anything, people always say, who's that big guy with you? And I go, right, tell me about him. What does he look like? And they always describe him, you know. But, you know, over the years, when I've lost loved ones, etc., they always tend to come back as a guide for me in some way, you know. They come back as a connection.
Do they do different things?
In terms of, what do you mean?
I mean, like, do you have a spirit that talks to certain types of spirits, like from different eras and things like that?
No, not at all. Any of my guides, you know, I'll just go to them, right, I don't understand this, tell me what it is, who's this spirit, who is it, what do they want, what are they coming forward for? But, you know, I have this policy with the spirit world where I don't introduce, let's call it a third party, and I go, right, who wants to talk to me? Because I think once you start introducing like a third party, and I hope you understand what I mean by that, you know, you almost end up with this Chinese whispers conversation, which I hate. So you'll get the spirit talking to my guide, talking to me, and then lo and behold, I have to talk back to my guide, talk back to the spirit world, and I go, no, I haven't got time for that, I'm too busy, just talk to me, tell me what you want. And then it's very often I'll go, right guys, don't know what that is, don't like that spirit, don't want that spirit, get rid of them, do something about it. And they'll go, right, yeah, we will. But you know, I'm very blunt with the spirit world, same as what I am now, I'm just very blunt with them, and I go, no, don't want to talk to you, yes, I do want to talk to you. But, you know, it's different when you're doing a stage show, though. This is the problem, because, you know, every spirit that comes through when you're doing a demonstration has a message for a loved one somewhere. Whether it be, you know, that I'm okay and I'm all right, you know, I passed over quickly and I've survived, I've met up with other loved ones, whatever, or they've got some news for you or information for you, you know. And I'm a big believer that, you know, they will give you what you need to know, not what you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's one thing. I was going to say that's one thing I've always thought. Like, if there's a message, it will come through. If there's not a message, then there's not a message. So.
Okay, I'm going to start at the top here with the questions. Cheryl Clark Strauss, am I ever going to get over losing someone?
Oof, blimey, that's the hardest question in the world. Do you know what? Everybody grieves at different times, different rates, different paces. Some people grieve within days, some people it takes them years. I would have to say to Cheryl, do you know what? Until you've... I'm trying to think how to word this. Until you've dealt with the situation of losing somebody, so until you've either grieved or let go or acknowledged it, you never get over it. You've got to grieve for people. And that doesn't mean sitting there and, thinking the end of the world's come to you. It's going, actually, you know what, they've been in my life and I'm really grateful for having them in my life, but now they've moved on. I think the other thing that I'll throw into that, and I had this as a personal experience as well, that sometimes you can wish they were still back here or you want them back here. And my comment or question to anybody would be, so do you want them back here and well, or do you want them back here and still suffering? And I think that's the one thing you've always got to be mindful of when we talk about losing somebody to the spirit world. Remember that if people are ill, they're out of pain when they go over, they instantly recover. Just don't look at it almost on a selfish basis and go, well, I want them back no matter what.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the next question here. I hope that answered your question there, Cheryl. Chris Chitwood, right. Barry, I am leaving Tuesday to drive to Alabama. My mom is having surgery. Do you feel I will have a safe trip, and will my mom be okay?
Should be fine. There's something about when's he leaving? Tuesday?
Yes.
There's something about Thursday that's very significant. I don't know if that's the day of the operation, but Thursday is significant. There's something about either blood pressure or complications with blood pressure with his mum for some reason I keep seeing. But I know that as we get to Monday, everything's okay. So the Thursday and Monday are significant as I talk about this. And I keep wanting to talk about the 22nd, and I don't know what day the 22nd is, but I keep looking at the 22nd. It's a Friday.
I was going to say Friday.
Something significant about a Friday.
Okay. Jacqueline Dixon, have you a reading for my career, please?
Oh, yeah, right, okay. That's an interesting one because there's something about, I want to do 3 months. So where are we now? March. I want to do April, May, June. I want to go June, and I want to go June the 16th, 17th. I don't know why. For some reason I want to say 17th because I think that's a Monday. But I want to go June the 17th for some reason. But there's a change in pathway that comes up here. And it almost feels as though she's either going to change her career or she's swapping her job role of some kind, because I keep seeing a different job role. But I want to go roughly around the middle of June as I'm looking at this.
Okay, I'm going to go to Coletta McCardle. I think that's her name, McCardle. Barry, okay, Barry, I am a medium, but I do not know who my guides are. I was wondering if you can tell me, Barry. I've asked and got no answers. Thanks, Barry.
Right, okay. First thing what I would say is never worry about who you guys are. Totally insignificant, totally unimportant. Just accept that they're there. I know automatically as I linked in there'd be a lady there, and this is either a mother or a mother figure. If this isn't mum, this must be grandmother on mum's side, I want to say. The lady, as she comes in, there was either problems with her mobility or problems with her walking. I keep seeing the letter of J all of a sudden as I'm talking about it, and I feel as though I either want to say John or Jack. It has to be a man, obviously. But I know that there's a grandmother link there, but this John or Jack has to connect as well. But the grandmother must have had mobility issues. My legs are hurting me all of a sudden, and it feels as though I'm more comfortable sat in my chair than moving around, I want to say to you. Don't know why, but as I'm looking at this, I keep seeing 85, and I don't know whether that's 1985 or the age of 85, but I keep seeing 85, so I don't know if Grandma died around 85 or 1985, but I keep seeing this, okay, but the letter J is significant, and I want to either talk about John or Jack as well at the same time.
Okay, so that was, who was that one? That was Coletta, right?
Yep, I'm just trying. Every time I scroll up, it starts going back down again.
What's that?
Every time I scroll up the comments, it starts going back down again.
That's why I had to freeze my comments. I'm going one at a time. There's a bunch here.
I'm totally
Lorna
lost.
Allen, Nearly Graham. Wow, that's a long name. Barry, at what age did you get your paranormal senses? Well, he already told us at the beginning. It was when he was pretty young.
6, I believe you said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was, and I always think though, I think that's really significant because, you know, when we grow up and when we're growing up, you know, we're told that things don't make sense or we can't have imaginary friends or you shouldn't be doing that. And I think because I come from a very sort of acceptable family, I never had anybody putting me down for what I did. It was almost acknowledge what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Linda Brooks, has Barrie ever connected with other medium spirit guides or even seen them with his own eyes?
Yes. And I think this is something that you either automatically do or you do. And I did an event a couple of weeks ago where I actually did a double show with another medium. And interestingly enough, we were getting the same person to read for, but we were getting 2 different spirits in the family, if that makes sense. And it was really interesting to see how that works. I love when I do a show, when I do a mediumship show, in having 2 or 3 links at any one time, so I can be giving two or three messages to individual people and keeping them going. And this is what I say, I tend to work a bit like a shotgun, I'm afraid, when I work with mediumship. What people don't seem to understand, and I think this is where I get frustrated with tutors nowadays, because people don't know how to teach mediumship anymore. And you've got to remember, it's this conversation, whereas I'm giving you a response, I've already asked the next question, because I keep that two-way conversation going. So answering Linda's question, yes, I've often picked up on people's spirit guides. If I link into other mediums, as I do with any student when I teach them, you know, you're able to pick things up or detect what they're doing or what's happening around them.
Okay. I got a long one here from Marcy Madrid. We had pounding on our front door and my daughter's bedroom window. It was so loud that my neighbors could hear it. At first, I thought it was some kids doing this. We had cameras and on one could be seen. I finally had enough, so I did house cleansing and went outside and demanded that it leave. Everything stopped. Do you think it was evil?
Oh, right, okay. Right. You did the best thing. Always stand your ground, always stand to leave. If they're not welcome, they're not welcome. I have a real issue with the word evil, okay? Because I think sometimes people use it, it's a bit like the word demon, isn't it? Let's say we've got a demon in the house, it's not just a noisy relative. And I want to go, actually, you know what, don't just assume that it's evil, you know, take it on a basis that, you know what, this is somebody trying to get your attention. And I think if you look at the way that sometimes movies portray it, and one of the best movies, I think, for portraying the way that spirits connect is the movie of Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. Very old movie now, obviously. But you know that where spirits keep knocking and you don't respond? That's what they keep doing. Sometimes when they want your attention, they will keep going to almost annoy you until you turn around to them and go, what? What do you want? Now I'll acknowledge you. I think once you acknowledge them, 99.9% of the time, they will leave you alone. I think you did the best thing in telling them, standing your ground, being firm, telling them to leave. Please, 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 just don't confuse this word evil. I think it just gets too easily misconstrued nowadays.
Gotcha. All right, Anita Johnson, can you tell me when will my son be home? Thank you so much.
Oh, bless. Right, okay. Why do I keep seeing September? But for some reason, I want to do September 20. So, obviously we're in 19 now. So what's this, about a year and a half away for some reason? About a year and a half away for some reason. I want to go September 20. September 20.
Okay.
As I say that, sorry, what was the name? I can't remember the lady's name.
Anita Johnson.
Anita, right, Anita. You know, Anita, as soon as I link in with you, I've got a dad link with you trying to come through here. And as this gentleman comes through, he's cough, 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 cough. I am really quite sort of chesty all the time with him as I talk to you. This isn't dad, it's got to be granddad on dad's side. But he had really sort of heavy breathing issues. I've got constant chest problems, and I've got a real pain, almost as though either they did CPR and they broke my rib cage, or there's an element of me being crushed here, I want to say to you. Don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. Maria
just a quick comment. I'm complete. My comments have completely gone weird, and I don't know who's the most recent or what.
I'm following it.
Because I had to leave. I had to leave the show quickly to block someone. So so now I have no idea what's going on.
Marina Voss. Weirdest question, probably. I don't know if you can do this, Barry, but this is it. Does my old dog Chowder still remember me? Something I think of daily.
Ooh, right, that's a real raw nerve for me at the moment, I have to be honest, because I lost one of my dogs 2 weeks ago, and it's still very, very raw, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, within 24 hours of her passing to the spirit world, she actually reappeared in my consultation room, and she actually let me and my other dog know, who's on my office floor down here at the moment, she let me and my other dog know that she was okay, and she acknowledged me and said yes, almost to acknowledge to go, yes, I'm okay, and you're okay. Do you know what? I think my comment to you would be, if you've dealt and you've grieved and you've, I don't want to say moved on, but you've dealt with it yourself, trust me, they'll be happy. Always think about you did the best thing. I don't know why I want to say that. You did the best thing.
Maybe she had to put the dog down or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so Philip Pick. I'm no medium, definitely large or extra large, but we have activity in our house. We assume it's all family that have passed, but we don't know absolutely.
Okay, is he asking me who it is?
I think he wants to know if it's his family, period. I mean, he doesn't know if it is or not.
I'm going to say there's a gentleman there straight away, but as I say there's a gentleman there, I would say this gentleman must have either had a bald head or he had very little hair, I would say, because that's the image what I'm seeing straight away. But I also know there that there either has to be a sister or a brother linked to him as well there, because I'm seeing this. Now, I don't know if he's lost a brother or a sister, or whether this is a child that was miscarried, but it certainly feels as though there's quite a few there. I don't know why, but I want to say either 5 or 6 as I'm looking at this.
That's pretty weird because the next question is about a miscarriage. Okay. Vicky Mulligan Ott. Let me repeat that. Vicky Mulligan Ott. Barry, my daughter-in-law mom died very unexpectedly, and she miscarried her first grandchild December 1st. This happened. She's having a rough time of it. Is her mom with her?
Oh, bless. The first thing I'm going to say is remember, whenever you miscarry, the child still continues to live on, and I do believe that. I know that children always go to a loved one when they go over the other side. In this case, I don't know why I want to say this, but I'm going to say yes, Vicky, yes to a daughter. The daughter's mother is there, I want to say, but there must be something connected with a. I keep wanting to do either Tuesday or Thursday again with this, and I don't know whether a mother passed on a Tuesday or Thursday, or Tuesday or Thursday is significant. I also know the 15th of May is significant, which must be either a birthday or it must be connected to some sort of anniversary, but around the 15th of May. But there has to be a connection, and I've wrote Tuesday, so I'm going to say there's a Tuesday connection around mother somewhere as I talk about this, and the letter A must be significant as well. Male, I feel as though the letter A is, though, for some reason, like Andrew or something like this, Alex, Andrew, something. I keep seeing it as I'm talking.
Okay.
I'm just so you know, because I'm at the other end of the chat. I'm assuming we're getting feedback from the people you're giving readings for, and a lot of things you're saying are making sense.
Oh, bless them. Thank you very much.
So.
Okay. Are you watching the YouTube page? Is there any questions on there?
Good point.
I don't have YouTube.
YouTube isn't that busy. I think a lot of people are realising that they should go over to the Facebook and watch it.
Kathleen, let me answer this one real quick. Kathleen Campbell, Powell. Will my love life get better? So confused.
Okay. Right, okay. October. I keep seeing a fair-haired man in October, and I want October this year. I want 19. So I want to say to you, but you need to go out looking for it. Don't expect love just to land on your doorstep. Don't know why I'm saying that. And you know, as I say that, this is really strange, because whoever's coming into her life is either a postman or is connected to bringing mail of some kind, almost like a delivery man.
Oh, she's going to start stalking the UPS man.
just the mailman. Just to give you feedback on Chris Chitwood Wright, yes, she is having surgery on the 21st on her carotid artery. Okay.
That's something to do with your heart, Daryl.
What's that?
I'm assuming that's something to do with your heart.
Yeah, but
in case you don't know.
Being an artery, it would have to be. Okay, Clara King Holmes. My ex-partner took his life. He's my son's dad. He's always around. He comes through on my paranormal investigations. Is it possible for spirits to hang around this long?
Oh, right, hang on. Let's just... Right, okay. I just need to do two things with this. First of all, I either get the name of Philip or Philip must connect somewhere, and if Philip connects, the name of Stephen must connect. I need to say here, something I just want to pick up on. Spirit don't hang around, okay? If you've allowed them to pass over, in other words, that you've agreed for them and you've allowed to move on, they come back of their own free will, and trust me, if you didn't want to be there, he'd clear off and leave you alone. Spirit don't hang around. They have no time for it.
Okay, good. She says he's been passed for 9 years now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, Claire. I had no idea. Is it okay if I ask some questions from YouTube quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm gonna totally get this name wrong. Oh, okay. Nancy Santamaria would like to know if there's anything coming through for her. There's nothing really specific she's asking, but she'd like to get an idea about how her love life is doing.
Right, okay. First thing is, you know what, I don't know why I see this, but I almost see like Santorini or something like that. I want to go to Greece, and it's not mainland, it's like island or something like island. I keep seeing a small island of some kind, little small sort of holiday homes. Don't know why I see that. As I talk about a love life, there's something about either 3 relationships that she's had, or pardon the expression, 3 men that have been in her life. And I'm seeing this as I'm talking to it, but whatever happened to the last one, I feel like extremely either cheated on or heartbroken of. Somebody she either wore her heart on her sleeve, fell in love too easy, and I want to go next time, be a little bit tougher with things, okay? Keep seeing the letter M as though it's for Mike, Mick or Michael, as I'm looking at the moment. And you see, as I'm writing this at the moment, September comes to mind as I talk about this. But this has to be a connection to either work or connected to somebody via work.
She just said she's from Costa Rica, so Costa Rica's an island, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know my geography very well.
It would probably fit in terms of the vision that I see.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I almost see like a small island of like small homes, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And also, her tag is Hinsdale Girl, but her name is Michelle Timmons. It's just gone up. Where was it? Oh, this is.
You lost it, dude. Really?
She wants to know if a friend of hers called Dan passed away. She'd like to know if he's okay and if he is proud of her.
You know, I want to say he was a very tough character. He was a very tough guy, I want to say. You know, nothing ever fazed him or nothing ever beat him, I want to talk about. And I don't know why, but I keep wanting to play the Beach Boys tune all of a sudden, okay? But I don't know which song it is. It's almost like, was it California Dreaming or
that's Katy Perry, Barry. Not
what, California Dreaming?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Dreaming?
Isn't that Katy Perry?
Beach Boys. No,
I thought it was California Girls. Oh, is that Katy Perry?
I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
I can tell you it's the Beach Boys, California
There's
Dreaming.
just no hope with this show.
No, California Dreaming is the Mamas and the Papas. That's what California Dreaming is.
Well, you know, I'm not very old, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I keep seeing the Beach Boys anyway, alright, and I keep wanting to play tunes. So I know with Dan, he was a bit of a live wire. Nothing ever fazed him, I want to say. He always loved a good challenge. And he's coming in for a challenge now, I want to say. There's something good that's really going to happen very soon. And I want to say 6 to 6 to 8 weeks takes me to what?
June?
I don't know. End of April into May.
May, yeah. I skipped a month. Michelle is actually from California, so that might be why you were hearing that.
There you go.
And
hey, dude, he's
Nancy,
on this shit, bro.
Nancy says, "Wow, I am shaking."
So you got anyone on YouTube?
I hope there's not an earthquake in Costa Rica right now. But that's all I've got on YouTube at the moment. So.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get to Lorna Allen Nearly Graham. Barry, I wondered if there's anything for me from my sister who passed away 6 years ago.
August. I want to keep writing August for some reason. August has to be either a memory or an anniversary of some kind. And you know, as a sister comes close to me, there is something that really irritated her sister either before she passed. It feels almost like I've got like a skin allergy or a skin rash. I want to really start scratching myself quite badly all of a sudden. And as I'm doing this, I don't know why, but I'm either I don't know why I'm seeing this. I'm either giving you guinea pigs or I'm giving you hamsters. It's nothing. It's not a rabbit. It's smaller than that. I keep seeing guinea pigs or hamsters. It almost reminds me of like the film Gremlins. I want to keep drawing like the little gremlin characters for some reason. And this must be some sort of memory. Your sister could have been I know I say this, a real pain in the butt when she wanted to be. But my God, she had a good heart, I want to say to you.
Okay. Let's see. Marina Voss. I'm thinking of going to college in Ireland. Do you think I'll get in? Is there anything saying that I can? Thanks, Barry.
I would say 2 attempts. There's 2 attempts, or there's something about twice. I don't know whether you're applying for twice, whether you're applying for 2 courses. There's something here about twice. I'm going to say to you, yes, you will, but this isn't an easy road, and I don't want you thinking it's an easy road. And I haven't got the faintest. There's something about Limerick, and I want to not only talk about Limerick, as in the place, I also want to start doing like almost like Irish dancing all of a sudden. This is good. This is really good for you. I don't know if there's a medical link or whether there's something connected to medical here, but I keep wanting to talk about medicine, medical, working with medicals or medicine. I keep seeing it all the time. And as I do this, there has to be the connect to Anne or Anna very close to you as well.
Okay, we're going to do a couple more, and that's it, guys. Carl Hutchison. Let's see. Who is the lady I have seen for years at the bottom of my bed?
Okay, right. The lady that I want to pick up on is a lady that was. I want to say she had quite a nice character, but she was very well built. And I can see this as I'm talking to you. This lady would almost come in doing bingo numbers for me or shouting numbers for you, I want to say. And she's making me laugh with this because she's making me do 88, which is the 2 fat ladies, I want to say to you. And there's something about this. This is a grandmother link, and she's in the spirit world with another sister, and they would have looked like identical twins, or they look so much alike, I want to say to you, Carl. So I know that I want to keep doing two fat ladies, number 88, and I mean that very respectfully, by the way, but it's the way that she makes me write this. So Grandma has to be in the spirit world with a sister, and they must have either been twins or they must have looked like each other.
Okay. Daryl Godwin. Will my health issues improve?
Well, when you change your doctor, Daryl, for some reason, I don't know why I'm saying that to you. There's something here about moving, I don't know, medical practice, doctor practice, I want to say to you. And it's that feeling I want to say to you. May, June all the time I keep seeing. Yes, you'll be alright, May, June. I don't know why, but there's a deficiency with you of some kind. And it almost feels as though either there's a calcium deficiency or there's something about brittle bones. I don't know whether you break bones easily or whether there's a problem with your bones.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 more, guys.
I've got one more on YouTube as well.
Okay, so we'll do these 2 on Facebook, and we're going to do 1 more on YouTube. Laura Ratchford Weekle. I guess I'm saying that name. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Can you reach out to my mom?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Hang on. Yeah, I'm being silly there. Right. Okay.
No, you're good.
Laurie, your mum did have a sense of humour, and you must remember this. Your mother was a very loving, caring woman, and she wanted everybody to be happy. She didn't want any sadness when she went to the spirit world. And why is it? I don't know why she's doing this. She's either giving me the name of Stoke or the place of Stoke. Now I know where Stoke is in the UK. I don't know if there's a Stoke in the US, but I keep seeing Stoke as no, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's stroke. I don't know if your mum had a stroke, but she's making me write it as I'm talking to you. There's something with your mum where something happened very quickly in the end. I want to say to you, okay? And I know as she talks to me of the March birthday that's just gone, and she talks to me of April as well. In April, I want to go 22nd, 23rd of April for you, darling, okay? She keeps showing me the picture of the family of 4. Now, that would talk to me of 2 parents, so like a mum and dad, and 2 children. You must understand where that is if she shows me that photograph.
Okay. I've got one more on here. Melissa Grubbs. If there's time, can Barrie possibly connect to my brother who drowned when he was 18?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa's one of our biggest followers. And
Do you know what, Melissa? Always remember, no matter what they went with or how they went, whether they died of a suicide condition or of an accident or of natural health condition, they all go to the same place here, okay? I know that your brother talked to me about being with either a father figure or a grandfather figure, okay? So this will be granddad on dad's side, if not. So it's either dad or granddad on dad's side. But I also know with this, that as I talk about this, he keeps shouting November, tell her November. I also want to tell you August being significant. And as he does this, he keeps talking about the 3 of you, as he puts it. The 3 of you. Tell the 3 of them that I'm okay. The 3 of them I'm okay. There's a connection with either David or David has to be close in terms of either friendship or a very close family link as I'm talking about this. And your brother is doing some amazing doodling, I want to say, for me, because I can see this as I'm talking to you. And he's doodling away, almost as though there would be pictures that he either left behind or, pardon, I say this, doodles that he left behind. But he keeps talking, I don't know why, but he's talking about fried eggs for some reason. He likes his eggs done a certain way. He wouldn't have runny eggs. They had to be done both sides. Don't know what he means by that. And James has
That's
to be
oddly specific
as well. I know. I'm just honest, aren't I? I say it. I've got no idea what it means, but maybe it means something to Melissa.
Okay, we've got a question on YouTube, which will be the last we answer. We just want to say, guys, we're sorry we can't answer all your questions because, I mean, there's a lot of you asking, and
yes.
I mean, Barrie.
We only have so much time.
He's doing this out of the kindness of his heart and stuff. So
I'll come back on, guys.
Yeah, we're definitely. Yeah. We have other mediums coming on as well. I just want to say.
I'll tell you what, Barrie's been pretty. Everybody on this chat, man, like I'm watching, they're like, dude, yeah.
The same on YouTube. The same on YouTube. The same on the 2 people.
Just have me back in future. Just have me back.
the two people on YouTube, Michelle Hinsdale girl and Nancy. They're both in awe of the answers you gave. And I just want to say quickly, we've all got to say it, all 3 of us. We just want to say hi to Ben, who is, I'm assuming, a relative of Trinidad. So.
All right, hi Ben.
And the question from Daryl, I believe you know this person.
Yeah.
Michelle Bradley.
Michelle Bradley. Okay, yeah.
Oh, that was going to be so awkward for a second. Okay, I've lost the question.
What? Jesus Christ.
It's because we started talking about how much of a dick you were, Daryl. Michelle says my mum passed in 2013. She wants to know if she's okay and if she's proud of her.
Of course, she went way too quick. There's something about the Friday passing. Your mum was always proud of you, darling. She was proud of you to the hilt and back, and I know that. Oh, now I say this, you were a favourite. No matter what you did, you always got away with, and I would put it, you got away with murder, and you know what I mean by that. You could have done anything, and she'd never tell you off, or she'd never see the wrong in it. She's talking to me about either the red, I don't know why I'm doing this, either the red car, but it feels like this is a soft top of some kind. Like quite a sports car, I want to say to you, what Mum shows me. And she's talking to me about this. She gives me the name of Palmer, or Palmer must be connected as well. And there's a Stan in the spirit world, or Stanley as well, that's connected in the spirit world. Why do I want to keep drawing a beach hut? I want to draw a beach hut. You know, so I'm going to, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like a vacation home of some kind. I want to take you away somewhere for some reason. There's something here about getting you away from it at the moment.
Huh. Well, I hope that answers your question, Michelle.
So do
yes.
I'll let you know.
Guys,
I'll let you know if she confirms.
Yeah, do you, Barry, you have a link these people can ever reach out to you if like some of the ones we didn't we're not able to. I know you probably don't want to.
No, that's absolutely fine. Either get us on Facebook, guys. Look for us under Barrie John on Facebook, Barry with an IE, or join our website, or jump on our website, whichever, and that's www.barriejohn.com. You can sign up to our newsletter on there as well. So we're all over the place. Find us anywhere and everywhere. Just sorry, Barrie John.
This is incredible. Michelle just said that she's going to her mum's beach house this weekend.
How about that, guys? Favourite medium
Spot
now.
on,
That's
bro.
awesome.
Who's your favourite medium now?
You got a thumbs up.
I tell you who my favourite medium is. Derek Akora. So I'm joking. It's Merrick Alora. Before we go, Daryl, stand up.
Ah, boy. Alright. Here's the swag.
Yeah, buy our shit. Thank you. So that was a great show, I think.
Yeah, it was an amazing show, Barry. God, we thank you so much, man. You were amazing. Everybody in the chat here loving you, and they're saying you're pretty damn spot on everything that they asked.
Yeah, Michelle has chills, so.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Honestly, it's been a great pleasure, and you know where I am anytime. Don't be afraid to get in touch. And if ever you want me back on the show, just give me a nudge, and I'm happy to drop back on, and we'll do some more readings if you want.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Once we get off here, I want to talk to you real quick, Barry. But guys, you guys have a great week. Check us out tomorrow night. We're doing a live feed investigation out of Kansas. It's Kansas, right?
It's in Kansas, yeah. We'll be from 6:30 Eastern time. We're going to have a look around the location, and then we'll do some live investigating. That's with... I'm never sure if I say it right. Because it's... How would you guys pronounce this? Picht. Is that Pitch?
Pitch. Yeah,
Pitch Paranormal. It's with them guys. But if you go on our Facebook page, I've put a link for them in our post about the live event if you want to look them up as well.
Got a lot of people in here saying Barry is brilliant. Barry's amazing medium. Some people were having chills down their spine. I got chills and started to cry. Barry, you're amazing. Thank you, Daryl and Alex, for another amazing hour. Oh, thank you, guys. Barry is amazing. Oh, it keeps coming, guys. They're loving you, brother.
Are you sure you two haven't wrote this? Is this just you two?
No. I don't. Hands off, brother. It's all coming through.
Daryl has enough trouble copying and pasting, so. And that's not even a joke.
So guys, great show. We appreciate you. We love you all. Thank you for tuning in, like always. Barry's amazing again. There you go. They keep popping up. You guys are amazing, like always. And we'll catch you tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the live feed investigation. And you guys have a great night. We're out of here.
And this is why I wear the hat. I need a haircut. Look at it. It's ridiculous. Bye.